When we have a major change in life, when what we expected out of life completely changes, or our daily experience of life drastically changes, obviously that's going to be scary and difficult and painful at first, especially if it's something we perceive to be a negative thing, like a relationship ending. But ultimately, all of the best things in life come out of change. And think of all the major changes in your life and how they have benefited you and led to amazing things. At this point in my life has fallen apart so many times, and I felt like everything's over and it's never gonna be okay again so many times. And then to find myself in a completely different place, feeling better years later, I've had that happen enough to know that when it feels like everything's over, it's not actually, and that your life is gonna feel like it's ending many, many times. And it doesn't mean that it actually is. You can't see yet the beautiful life that is waiting for you on the other side of this. And it's hard for you to comprehend it right now, but you just have to believe that it's there. And honestly, celebrate the endings in your life and the pain, knowing that it's gonna bring you more blessings. It's like giving birth. Like, giving birth is so painful. It's a traumatic process. It's really intense. But at the end of it, you have a beautiful baby. And so just realize that right now you're in the painful process of giving birth, but there's going to be a beautiful outcome. Try to see everything that happens to you as a gift, because it can be, and it is if you believe that it is. And earlier in the year when I got really sick, I was allergic to everything. I was like, I can never go to restaurants, I can't wear makeup, I can't travel, I can't eat so many different foods, and I feel so sick. I don't know how I'll ever be okay again. I can't work. And I didn't see a way for me to ever be happy again or enjoy life again, because I couldn't comprehend how different my life was about to become, and how I didn't need any of those things to be happy, and I would find happiness from other sources. My life transformed in the most beautiful way, and I'm happier than ever without all of those things. Or I guess some of those things, because some of them I'm able to use now. But you can't see what's on the other side. You don't know what is gonna bring you happiness in the future, and you're not meant to know yet, but just know that it's gonna happen eventually, and you just can't imagine yet the way in which your life is gonna transform. And sometimes the universe has to take away what is comfortable to us, because if we're comfortable, we'd never move. We'd never want to make changes in our life. Try to just surrender to the process and give up what your ego wants, and understand that this is what your higher self wants, and your higher self chose this for you. It chose for this ending to happen because it knew the rewards on the other side of this. And it might feel painful. You might not feel like you want to accept this. You might not feel like this is ever what you're gonna want, but for now you just have to surrender and get through this. And it's okay for you to feel that way and to feel like you don't want it, and just be present with your emotions and really let yourself feel them, because you're feeling this way and you're releasing these emotions so that they can be released for good, and so that you can go through the rest of your life without these wounds. So I think the lesson is really that we need to meet our own needs and give ourselves whatever it is that we want from other people, or whatever it is that they were giving to us that made us feel good. A lot of times our love languages are actually things that we struggle with giving to ourselves. So if your love language is acts of service, do you take care of yourself? Do you cook healthy meals for yourself? Do you do nice things for yourself? Are you responsible? Do you do the chores that you need to do in order to feel good? My biggest love language was acts of service, and growing up, I didn't feel like my parents took care of me as much as I wanted them to. And the reality is I didn't take care of myself for most of my life the way that I should have. If your love language is physical touch, do you feel connected to your body? Are you taking care of your body? Are you proud of your body? How can you feel proud of it? How can you love and appreciate it? And how can you make it feel good and move your body in a healthy way? If your love language is words of affirmation, what is your self-talk like? Are you kind to yourself? Do you feel like you're good enough, or do you need someone else to validate that for you? If your love language is giving gifts, do you do nice things for yourself? Do you reward yourself? Do you celebrate yourself? Do you feel like you can provide for yourself? Do you feel safe? If your love language is quality time, do you spend time with yourself, or are you always distracted? Do you really give yourself attention and spend time with your thoughts and your feelings? And do you give your emotions the attention that they need? So many fights in relationships are because you feel like someone else is not meeting your needs, but really you should be meeting them for yourself, and you shouldn't really expect or need anything from anyone. Every person wants to be witnessed and understood and listened to, and the same is for your emotions. They just want to be witnessed and understood and listened to, and they want attention, and they don't want to be judged. Don't label your emotions as bad or negative things. Try to just welcome them and accept them and feel them fully and allow them to move through your body in a healthy way. I think sometimes it's hard for us to be present with our emotions if we're not like talking to someone else. You can sit and talk to yourself the way that that person would that would comfort you. Have that conversation with yourself like as if you were venting to someone else, and then comfort yourself in the way that you need. Do you check in with yourself and your needs, and are you there for yourself, or does it require the presence of another human? A lot of us were always searching for external fulfillment in something else, in love, in a relationship, in drugs, in wealth, in success. But none of those things are actually gonna help give us what we want. What we want has always been within us, and you can give it to yourself. And the external circumstances don't necessarily matter. Being single might help you meet your own needs, or you might end up feeling unhappy and unfulfilled and searching for something else to come and meet your needs. And these wounds are gonna show up in different ways regardless of our external circumstances. So they're gonna show up in relationships, they're gonna show up outside of relationships. But if you're watching this video right now, this is an opportunity for you to recognize this and to meet your own needs. It's easy to recognize the strength of our love and power when we pour it all into someone else. But we're all the embodiment of love, and what you see in that person is a reflection of your authentic self. I think that true love is just two authentic selves mirroring each other. And so what you loved was really yourself all along. But it might be harder for you to do that when you're alone. You might only be able to love and accept yourself when you have someone else reflecting it back to you and also validating you and accepting all of the bad parts of yourself. And even though you lost that person, you will always be here. You didn't lose yourself, and so you can find that love again because it's always within you, and it always has been. And you will have fulfilling relationships again, and you will find that feeling again, and it'll never leave. And even your love for that person doesn't have to leave, and it doesn't have to bring up negative emotions. You can just be appreciative that it was in your life and you needed it, and it brought you so much happiness. And I know that all of this is easier said than done, but just being aware of our wounds and our shadow selves is so healing. And a lot of times these things can heal just from being brought to light. Just trust the process, be kind to yourself, be patient with yourself. I'm gonna pull some cards for any messages that anyone watching this video might need to hear. Balance spirituality and practicality. Yeah, don't use spirituality to try to escape your feelings. Be present with your emotions, and remember that this is about having a human experience and being human, but also, keep that faith and keep that connection to source and allow that to guide you and help you. A new romantic cycle begins. Yeah, so I think that's pretty obvious. Maybe you'll meet someone new, or maybe it's just about falling in love with yourself, falling in love with your authentic self, and meeting your own needs. Work through your fears. Yeah, I feel like this is happening so that you can feel these emotions and feel these fears and face these fears. And then once you're able to fully feel it and release it, you're gonna learn that it's safe for you to feel these things. It's safe for you to open up to people. It's safe for you to be your true self. And it's safe for you to feel heartbreak and loss and grief. And that's gonna help you work through your fears. So when these bad things happen to us, they're really a blessing because they're helping us release different fears and release different pain and wounds from our body. What are the dominant emotions that run my life? There is power in your desires. Let them be your fuel today. Your desires are your soul's wings, and it's time to take flight. Today, go inward. Your answers lie within. What do you desire? Choose what makes you happy and do that. Yeah, focus on making yourself happy and doing what you want, not trying to please anyone else or not trying to be a certain way for anyone else. Am I consistently showing up? Show up for yourself, meet your needs, be there for yourself. Some trade their dreams for comfort, yet comfort is the enemy of progress. Success requires showing up every single day, even when you don't feel like it and even when it feels uncomfortable. It takes guts and an endless vision to stay consistent to your dream. Journal where you can be more consistent in your life in alignment with your soulful goals, then show up. And showing up doesn't have to mean being productive and getting things done. Showing up can mean being present with your emotions, or allowing yourself to rest and giving yourself the things that you need and that your body needs. It's really about consistently showing up and being there for yourself in the way that you need and giving to yourself what you need. I'm gonna pull a few cards about what you have to look forward to. Confidence. Definitely makes sense. You're building confidence through this experience. Safe travel. Maybe you're gonna move, or maybe you want to travel. Maybe you needed this relationship to end so that you could make a move in your life, and you'll end up living somewhere that makes you happier, that you love, that you meet people that you're meant to meet. Or maybe you are going to travel and enjoy traveling and freedom. Beauty. I think you're gonna feel beautiful, recognize your own beauty inside and out, and be able to share that beauty with other people and turn this experience into something beautiful. And we have abundance. Abundance in every area of your life: money, happiness, confidence, success, love. You can get love from everywhere. You can get love from yourself.